Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And today, Megan, we are talking about the Hoka Mach 6.
Mach 6.
That was an easy name, wasn't it?
Not to be confused with Mach X, which makes it harder.
Yeah, there is a Mach X that's got a plate in it. This doesn't. Some people get confused. But before we tell you what this does have in it, let's just go over the whole shoe.
All right, so it's your favorite, Thomas.
Yes,
it's
it is.
a Creole Jacquard upper.
You keep saying Creole like it's like spicy food. I think it's Creole. Creole Jacquard.
Put the wrong emphasis.
Yeah, spelled C-R-E-E-L.
Yeah, Creole. What did I say?
Creole. Anyway, it's a Creole Jacquard
You literally
upper.
said the same way.
Are you sure? Okay. Anyway, what's that mean? It's a mesh upper. You're not going to get too excited. It's nothing that's like out of the ordinary. It's just a light, breathable mesh. You've got a gusseted tongue, which we always love.
Yep.
And basic laces. There's not much to talk about here other than the fact that it fits true to size. So my 10.5 fits just right. As a matter of fact, this shoe fits my foot amazing. I've got a high arch and a narrow foot, and I just like the way this one fits. I actually thought you were going to disagree with me because of the shape of your foot. Do you?
No, I actually thought it fit really well. Like Thomas said, true to size. I have a wider foot, but no issues with the width here. Jeez. It does have the fancy elf heel that I like to call it. But there's some nice padding around the collar. And like Thomas said, the gusted tongue is very nice. But again, it's just a very simple upper.
And that's kind of going to be the theme of the
Yeah.
shoe. Simplicity. And sometimes these shoes work out really well. Sometimes they're really boring. This one, I feel like it works out really well. So let's get down into the midsole, which is new for this one.
Yeah, used to be a dual density midsole, and now it's just one giant slab of supercritical foam.
Yeah, before you had an EVA foam and a kind of supercritical foam mixed together. You didn't have any rubber on the outsole. Some people complain that the durability of that shoe didn't hold up. I think it's going to work differently for different body styles, for different ways that you are actually striking the ground with your foot. But this one, I have over 30 miles in this, and there's no visible wear on this rubber. And the midsole foam has retained a bouncy, light, energetic feel. Would you agree?
Yeah, I do really like the ride of this shoe. I feel like it's an improvement from the previous iteration. It just feels a little bit more lively to me, a little bouncier. I also feel like it's very stable. So it's a fairly wide platform, and maybe that's part of it. But I felt like, and maybe this is actually a negative, in that it was so stable out on the run that it didn't feel like I really wanted to like pick it up or you know, get that like really like fun fast shoe.
See, that's interesting to me because this one's so light on the foot that it felt springy, energetic, and I did feel like I was able to maybe pick up the pace a little bit more. But I think that where it really excels is that like daily mile, daily trainer, just cruising paces. You know, nowadays, if we're gonna go for speed, we're gonna bump up to something with a carbon plate or something like that. This one just is a feel-good daily trainer. Like I feel like you could take this on vacation and it would cover a lot of your running needs.
Yeah, for sure. This is one of those shoes that I think could probably handle a lot. So it could do your long runs, it can do your faster paced days, and obviously your easy daily training runs can totally handle. You mentioned the weight, so let's just go ahead and throw that out there. My women's 7.5 came in at 6.8 ounces or 194 grams. So if we're talking daily trainers, that is very much on the light side.
Yeah, my 10.5 weighs 8.6 ounces or 245 grams, which does put it on the lighter side of daily trainers. I think that's why I like it. Weight really matters to me. It's something I put a lot of
weight
on.
Okay.
So yeah, if it's light and it feels lively underfoot, what I like about this shoe is the weight is light. The feeling of foam feels protected under the foot, so I felt like you had enough cushioning for all your miles, and it just fit right. So between all of those three factors, I really enjoyed my miles in the shoe.
Yeah.
It does remind me of some other shoes though.
Before you get into that, just one note on the foam underfoot. So you are getting plenty of stack. In the women's, it's 35-30. In the men's, it's 37-32. So 5 millimeter drop and just plenty of cushioning underfoot.
This kind of style shoe is kind of making its way across different brands. I would say this is going to be similar to the Rebel V4 from New Balance. I'd say it still fits well. I think it's more built up. The Nova Blast 4 from Asics, and most likely like the Puma Velocity 3. All of those have a simple foam underfoot. They're a lighter weight daily trainer. And if they work for you, they're just more fun than say like a traditional EVA style daily trainer, or even something like, I don't know, like the Pegasus doesn't have this kind of bounce or light feeling on the foot. So they're more energetic, a little faster feel shoe. That shoe that I think that the majority of the runners, like we tend to get a little hyper focused on performance sometimes, but like if you're just looking for that person that's gonna run 5Ks and work out at the gym and that stuff, these shoes are really excellent for that kind of runner.
Yeah, it's just a very simple shoe that I think works. Okay, so the Mach 6 is $140, so right in line, I guess, with your daily trainers nowadays.
Well, that's actually on the low end of daily trainers, I'd say.
Okay.
Say between 120 and 140 is your lower price daily trainers. You get into like the super trainers and some of the more premium daily trainers are between 160 and 180. And then you start getting in the super shoe range around 200 and 250.
But for a shoe without much tech that's very simple, you're gonna fall in line with that 140 you were talking about.
Yeah, I really am excited to try the new Mach X2 that's coming out later this year. It's gonna be in the second half. And that should be like a really interesting shoe. It's more of a departure. The previous Mach X was like this shoe just with a plate. And I think that the Mach X2 is more of a completely different shoe, a little higher stack, and it's going to be interesting, so I'm excited to try that.
All right, the only thing left to do is, what do you give this one, Thomas?
I mean, I guess you can tell. I'm going to give this a green.
Yeah, I think I have to agree. While I will say I think I've become accustomed to maybe a shoe with a plate in it or a shoe with a little bit more bounce, it was nice to kind of go back to this very simplistic shoe it still feels great underfoot, you just don't have a plate underneath.
Yeah, it is kind of funny with it being supercritical foam. I will say people that were ahead of their time was definitely Skechers. This shoe could have been a Skechers from a while back. It reminds me of the Hyperion Tempo, which I don't know why, just the foam doesn't feel as good as this one does anymore, but when we originally were running in the first version of that, this has that feeling and that supercritical, so if you're familiar with that foam, you're gonna be familiar with this shoe. It's light and it's fun. All right, Meg, so that's it for this shoe. We got other shoes coming up, so you should probably subscribe.
Yeah. I have one last question. Do
Yeah.
you always pop your collar?
This jacket is made this way. You're supposed to do it. Like it's not a fold down. Like you don't wear it
It's always popped.
like that. Look at it, it's like wings.
Nerd.
Yeah. Yeah. See what I gotta deal with on a daily basis.
All right. If you haven't yet, like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram.
Check out the drop.
Check out the drop.
And guess what? You'll make Carl's day. Carl's over here. I can't now. Like it feels weird. Carl is our guy behind the camera. He's gonna be really excited because we are very close to hitting 100,000 subscribers.
Oh wow!
I think we get a silver play button when that happens, and I will do a video for that.
Okay.
All right. So help us out. Tell your friends. Anything else you want to say?
That's it.
All right.
That's not it. You go to that one.